America's back at regime change.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're diving deep into how U.S. Delta Force captured Nicolás Maduro from a heavily fortified base inside Venezuela, backed by one of the largest air campaigns in recent history. We'll break down the raid step by step, the massive 150 aircraft operation overhead, and what it all means for who's really in control of the country now. The operation didn't start on the night of the raid. It began 4 months earlier, in August 2025, with Phase 1, Shaping Operations. CIA officers were secretly inserted into Venezuela. They built detailed intelligence packets tracking Maduro's movements hour by hour. Stealth drones provided constant live feeds, professionally stalking his position. This built what intelligence calls a pattern of life, essentially his daily routine. That intel narrowed his location to Fuerte Tiuna, the massive military complex just south of Caracas, home to over 3 million people. On Saturday, January 3, 2026, at 2 a.m. local time, the U.S. government greenlit Operation Absolute Resolve. The military unleashed targeted missile strikes across the capital, launched from 20 bases and ships worldwide. The ground assault team was 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, better known as Delta Force. Surprisingly, FBI hostage rescue team agents joined them to make the arrest legal. The insertion was bold and shocked analysts. 11 helicopters from the elite 165th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers, spearheaded the raid. These are the stunt pilots of the helicopter world, carrying around 300 special operators. They launched from the USS Iwo Jima, an amphibious assault ship parked miles off Venezuela's coast. The birds flew nap of the earth, just 100 feet above the Caribbean to evade radar, then covered the dangerous 10-mile stretch over land to Fuerte Tiuna. They took fire en route. One helicopter was damaged, but stayed airborne. As the assault force crossed Caracas, massive explosions lit up the sky behind them. Footage streamed live on X. The helicopters were advanced variants, MH-47G Chinooks and MH-60L Blackhawks with cutting-edge countermeasures. Fuerte Tiuna is no easy target. It's Venezuela's version of the Pentagon, built into a mountainside for high ground advantage with deep underground bunkers. Hardened concrete gates, pillboxes carved into the rock, armed guard towers, and 24/7 patrols ring the perimeter. The base spans roughly 2 miles wide by 4 miles long, garrisoned by an estimated 5,000 of Maduro's most elite troops. Maduro was paranoid, constantly moving, sleeping in different locations, using burner phones. But U.S. Cyber Command had prepared the battlefield. Starting mid-December, they infiltrated Venezuela's power grid with malware. When they activated it, the lights went out across the base and much of Caracas, killing communications and crippling any coordinated response. The operators fast-roped or landed, then moved straight to Maduro's on-base residence. They faced direct fire, but responded with overwhelming force in self-defense. Ground intelligence guided them through the compound. Sources inside Maduro's inner circle had revealed thick steel doors and a sealed panic room, so the team brought explosive charges and cutting tools. Outside, direct-action penetrator helicopters, up-gunned attack variants, provided close air support, ripping targets with miniguns and Hydra rockets. When they drew fire from man-portable Igla missiles, pilots deployed XM216 infrared flares, invisible to the eye but deadly effective against heat seekers. Delta finally breached the residence. According to sources speaking to CNN, they dragged a sleeping Maduro from his bed, zip-tied and blindfolded him, and extracted his wife, Celia Flores, as well. They loaded both onto Chinooks and lifted off. One Venezuelan officer who helped pinpoint the location reportedly collected a $50 million reward. But extraction was only half the mission. Capturing Maduro alive was critical. A dead leader would look like assassination and spark massive
warfare
legal
aircraft
and diplomatic
and
fallout.
B-1
Lancers struck
This
bases
was one
in
of the
La
most
Guaira,
sensitive
Miranda,
operations
and
in modern
States.
history.
The broader
As the
air
helicopters
campaign involved
exfiltrated,
roughly 150
U.S. air
aircraft,
power hammered
achieving
strategic
total
targets
air
nationwide
supremacy.
to create
Long-range
diversions
precision
and
missiles
chaos.
destroyed Book and
S-300
air defense systems,
F-35s,
flattened armored vehicles,
F/A
and neutralized
18S
radar sites. Jammers blinded remaining
Ropes out,
sensors.
smooth and steady.
Copy. Dropping. Ground clear. Second down.
2 set, 3, 4, follow.
Team formed, moving to entry. Breach ready on your mark.
Anti-radiation missiles hunted launchers. Key air bases like El Libertador were hit hard, preventing MiG fighters from scrambling. Satellite imagery later revealed entire sections of bases obliterated. The operation created multiple dilemmas for Venezuelan forces. Fuerte Tiuna housed many top generals. Hitting it threw command into disarray. In centralized dictatorships, that single-point concentration is great for control, but catastrophic when struck. Explosions also rocked La Guaira port, a key regime money hub. Combat footage showed Marine Vipers and Army Apaches delivering rocket strikes. Normally, helicopters are vulnerable without air superiority, yet here they operated freely, proving U.S. planners' confidence in total sky dominance. So why no helicopters lost to the thousands of reported Igla launchers? Several theories. Overwhelming U.S. firepower deterred serious resistance. Maduro's 10 to 20% approval rating meant few soldiers willing to die for him. Opposition sources told Sky News it was a negotiated exit. Maduro allegedly agreed to surrender to save face domestically. Some suggest a high-level betrayal. Perhaps the vice president or defense minister ordered stand down. Modern U.S. helicopter countermeasures, directional infrared lasers, blinded missile seekers. Poor training and storage degraded Venezuelan manpads. Low-altitude Night Stalker profiles denied acquisition time. Whatever the reason, the force returned safely to the waiting Navy fleet. No U.S. fatalities, only minor wounds from bullets and shrapnel. Now the big question. Who's running Venezuela? President Trump announced the U.S. would oversee the country temporarily until a safe transition. A naval blockade of oil exports gives leverage without full occupation. The administration says no further military action is expected, but resistance is already forming. Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello appeared armored on TV, urging defiance against terrorist enemies. Delcy Rodriguez was sworn in as acting president, publicly defiant but reportedly cooperating privately. Public response has been muted so far. No massive protests. Local reporting describes mixed feelings: shock at the attack, celebration among some at the dictator's fall, anger from loyalists at imperialism, hope that sanctions ease and the economy improves, and fear of a power vacuum. Legality remains debated. No congressional authorization, unlike past operations against Noriega or Saddam. Maduro will face trial in New York federal court on narco-trafficking charges. He maintains innocence. That's the full story of Operation Absolute Resolve, one of the boldest special operations in decades. A new chapter for Venezuela has begun.